I've got friends who've got electric bikes, and either they're not as easy to fold, easy to carry, they're too heavy, or they don't charge as quickly, and so on and so forth. There's always something that's not quite right. Or the price is 3 times the price. But when I found this bike, it was just a brilliant combination of everything that just made it super easy to just go for it.
Commuting is a little different now, isn't it? Not just where people are working and how often they're leaving the house, but also their method of getting around.
I use it for the daily commute, so in the mornings I drop off both my daughters, one's 5, one's 1. I drop the first one off at school. She goes down on the scooter, I go down on the bike, I put my little one on the back, drop her at school, and then I hot foot it across town to the nursery, which is in the train station, and drop off my little one. And then once that's done, round the back of the station and jump on the train, folding the bike up.
Half the population see e-bikes as a natural replacement for cars. 84% of Brits plan on driving less, and 87% see a bike as a great way to combat the cost of living. But obviously that only works if more people can afford to convert to pedal power.
I had wanted a fold-up bike for ages, and when I was looking around, given it's so hilly around here, I was looking for an electric bike. Most of the bikes were just way out of my price range.
So at Estarli, we design and build e-bikes with a cycling-mad team of bike builders here at our Hertfordshire factory. And that's e-bikes that people can trust for their daily commutes and with their most precious of cargo, but also e-bikes that more people can afford. Our customer base is about as broad as it gets. People who have never ridden before, people who have cycled their whole lives. And we've also got a lot of customers who are rediscovering cycling for the first time as adults.
I've only recently reconnected with cycling thanks to my folding bike. And so a love of cycling that I had when I was a kid throughout my whole childhood, I kind of feel like I'm 9 years old again.
The global benefits of fewer cars and buses on the road are clear-cut, but we also want to change communities. Communities that we all affect positively or negatively through our travel decisions.
In the mornings, the town centre is just gridlock. It's a really old town with really old infrastructure and really crazy roads, and a load of hills. And they seem to be building more and more houses, but they're not doing anything to change the road systems around here. So, you know, we try to drive as little as possible and cycle everywhere we can. It sets a really good example to my kids, and it's just the best way to get around.
The beauty of e-bikes, of course, is that you get to decide how much effort you put in. It can be a complete stress and sweat saver, or it can be a really practical and efficient way of staying healthy.
You know, being a dad of 2 young kids, I don't get that many chances to exercise, so being able to do this every morning is just my little injection of a bit of exercise, especially when I get to London and I can try and beat all the other bikes with this electric bike. It's good fun.
The electric side of the bike is really liberating because of distance. It just takes away the pressure of having to carry any gear. As someone who wears a turban, I don't really want to get to work and have to have a shower and kind of get changed again. So I kind of just stroll in all the way to my desk, kind of stress-free and sweat-free.
I think for a lot of people in the past, the idea of cycling in would probably be quite daunting, but it's so simple with this bike, being able to just easily switch the back out and jump on the train. I think more people are really considering it. I see a lot of people on, you know, Bromptons or other fold-up bikes that don't have the same flexibility that this does.
I think the flexibility of having a folding bike allows me to cycle more than a fixed frame, I think. Particularly going across kind of 12 miles across London, like my commute. I would just never cycle 12 kilometres or 12 miles in the morning and 12 miles in the evening.
And I guess the final piece of the jigsaw is empowerment. We want people to take their commutes and their weekend journeys into their own hands, to travel on their terms.
I get home in time to see my kids, which is the most important thing in my whole life. So if I can shave off 30, 40 minutes and get home quicker and see them, and I come around the corner and ring my bell just so they can hear it from their bedroom. It's just that extra bit of time, which is so precious. And we lose so much of it in London. It just drains our time. We spend most of it traveling.
We really believe that when we ride, we open up the world around us and we open up ourselves to it. We start to see things differently, we interact differently. And when we put ourselves at the center of our communities, we start to feel a greater sense of responsibility and togetherness.
The other day I was going through Parliament Square, Whitehall, past Big Ben, through Trafalgar Square, through Soho, up towards Euston, and it just makes you realise I could have done this underground, but I was in fresh air in the greatest city in the world. And it's kind of emotionally just one of the most incredible things that's happened to me in my adult life, just having a bike again.